everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. We're going to be creating a very sweet card that could be for any time of the year, but it could also be easily transformed into an Easter card. Very springy, and it uses new products from Hero Arts' spring collection. So on my desk I have the new color layering bunny and also the floral border. Both of these products I'm going to be using today to make this card. There are also coordinating dies for the bunny set, which I do think you might want to have on hand for cutting out the bunny. I started first by cutting out the floral border onto a piece of white cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I'm going to pull out another piece of white cardstock and some Simon Says stamp inks. We're going to start stamping our bunny. I wanted to stamp him with some light browns because I wanted him to look mostly white with a little bit of shading. I'm going to use LATTE from our Simon Says stamp Pawsitively saturated inks. It's a really nice soft brown, but I'm going to soften it even more by taking a blending brush and rubbing over that ink a little bit. It's going to pick up any of the extra ink, smooth it out, and it's going to give me a slightly lighter impression, which I really like. Once I stamp this first layer of the bunny, then I'm going to bring in the second layer. Now, I kind of went back and forth with myself on trying to decide what I wanted to do for that second layer. So initially I thought I would stamp the outline layer with cappuccino ink. It's a nice brown, it's a step up from the LATTE color, and I liked it. But as I worked on my card longer, I decided to actually go with intense black ink, so a black color for the outline layer, but you could have totally done what I'm doing here right now. Now I'm stamping the layer for his nose and the coloring in his ear with Simon Says stamp Cheeky ink. It's a nice warm pink and it looks great. It'll dry back a little bit. So I had decided to stamp the flowers with intense black ink and color them with Copic markers. If you're interested in the colors I used, I have them all listed over on the Simon Says stamp blog, so be sure to check that out. I did very simple shading. I didn't get too crazy because there are small images and I just wanted some nice color around the bunny, so I'm going to go very simple. I used some oranges, some pinks, yellows, and a couple of greens. And I'll color all of the flowers this way. I ended up stamping and coloring 3 sets of flowers. And then I'll also cut them out with the coordinating dies. Okay, so now here's where I changed my mind and I decided to stamp the bunny with intense black ink. So I'm going to stamp that first layer with the LATTE just like I did earlier, but instead of using the cappuccino ink, I'm going to use intense black. So that looks really good with the flowers and the entire card design that I ended up creating. But just know, you can see the bunny on the far right there. I'm using the same technique, but it's creating a slightly different look, and you could have done what I did initially. So it's totally up to you. The flowers are going to look really cute with this bunny. So on my floral bordered panel, I am going to just ink blend a couple of Simon Says stamp inks. I use Sprout for the green, and then I did Sea Foam for the top portion to kind of mimic sky. I'm kind of arranging everything here, trying to decide the exact placement for what I'm going to create for my scene. And I'm going to use foam tape to attach these images down. I started with the bunny, and he's actually going to hold pretty much all of these flowers in place. And I'll just put a couple pieces tucked behind the flowers to help give them a little bit of lift. For the card base, I'm using a card that is just a tad larger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because I really wanted to frame up that floral border. But you don't have to do that. You could have just attached this entire panel onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. For the bunny, you'll notice I had a cotton tail hanging around as I've been working, and this is going to be adorable for the tail and the bunny. I'm using just a pom-pom here, and I glued it down with some hot glue. I love how that looks. So I'm using this stamp set called Happy Days Ahead from Simon Says Stamp. It's actually from the March 2022 card kit, but you can also buy it separately. I really loved the bunny themed sentiments in this set, so that's what I'm going to use to stamp my greetings for this card. One of the greetings I'm going to stamp on cotton candy cardstock, and then the other one I'm going to stamp with embossing ink onto some slate gray cardstock. And I'll just go ahead and put some white embossing powder over top of that greeting, and then I'll heat set that so I get a really nice crisp impression. I used foam tape to attach the larger greeting onto my card, and then the smaller greeting I'm actually going to use some foam tape, but I'm going to use thin 3D foam dots from Scrapbook Adhesives. They're not as thick as foam tape, so it adds just a slight bit of dimension without going too crazy, and it adds some nice depth for the greetings. I used some flowering clover sequins from Simon Says Stamp to add a little bit of embellishment around my bunny, and that really catches the light for the colors that are in this card. I really love how these sparkle in the sunshine. So that's going to complete this card. It is so simple to do, but it is literally the cutest bunny in the world. I absolutely love how he really is a quite large size, so it fills in the card really nicely. And you could also translate this card design into a 5x7 card pretty easily too. Everything from his adorable stamp layering to the coloring we did for the flowers. This card is very springy, perfect for just any time of year. Like I did today, I did a sending hugs card. But this would be so simple to turn into an Easter card by simply just changing up the sentiments. I hope you were inspired by today's project using the new collection of spring products from Hero Arts. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for additional crafty inspiration. I'll be back soon with more to share with you all, but until I see you again, I hope everyone has a fabulous day. Bye!